Hello, I am Michelle Boulay. Thank you for joining me. I use coaching, healing, intuition, creativity, and movement to help people connect to love and joy in their lives, to help you radiate with the light of who you are so you can create a life you deeply desire. It is a creative and intuitive process, and my professional career and background in dance, since I was 5 years old, is a huge teacher and guide in how I work, along with over 20 years of studying consciousness, energy medicine, somatic modalities, and art. This is my platform where people can meet to move, heal, and grow in person and online. A place to support you in understanding the power and truth of who you are and what you're here to do. The magic ingredient is love. And before I get into the story here, I want to make sure you know about my upcoming Self-Love Workshop. It starts July 1st, and we will optimize the most amazing tool that you have to let go of burnout, exhaustion, negative self-talk, anxiety, insecurities about having what you want in life, body shame, hopelessness. Man, oh man. And that tool is your own self-love. We will be deeply investigating this topic for 4 weeks so that you can fortify your own personal journey of continually falling in love with yourself and in love with life. So if you want more info, make sure you contact us at embodyradiance.com or through the contact page on my website, and we can have a phone chat. Okay, so let's move into your inner evolution is your revolution. I don't know how I came upon this belief, and actually I'd never said it in this exact way until I wrote it a few weeks ago in my Sunday delivery. But I venture to guess that it comes from my experiences with injury and disappointments in life and how those became pivotal moments in my own growth. And a lot of this happened for me because I had a desire to keep dancing. It was that dream that I kept moving towards without question. So I took any opportunity I could to make it happen, which included making the best of my injuries and disappointments. So I want to share a story from when I was performing, dancing, in San Francisco around 2006 in a dance festival with Miguel Gutierrez, a choreographer I worked with for about 15 years. And I ended up at a dinner party with Miguel that we thought was going to be an entirely social affair, but it was actually a planning meeting for a panel that all the choreographers in the festival were a part of. And the focus, the theme was on how their work was political. So I remember kind of feeling like the kid who wasn't supposed to be there, keeping quiet on the side as each choreographer discussed their work. And at one point, one of the artists looked at me and wanted to know my opinion on how my work was political. And I responded by sort of shyly saying that feeling and tending to the wars and struggles in my own body on the regular was my political act. Being embodied was my political act. And what that meant for me was choosing to feel and get to know everything that was gnawing at me or making me feel trapped or helping me to feel free. And I saw my act of deeply paying attention to what's here, I'm pointing to myself, meaning coursing through myself, what's here coursing through me as an act of empowerment in the only domain that I truly have control over, my own mind and body. So I got a little scoffed by this person, and I know at the time, over 15 years ago, I didn't quite have the confidence to say this and maybe not question it myself. The whole idea was still kind of incubating within me. But I mean, I felt clear about it, and this idea only continues to evolve and get stronger within me, as I will still run into questions about it, which I think is just a continual up-leveling of how that belief operates for me. Because some of the most common responses or the challenges to this are that it's selfish, privileged, and self-centered. And it is self-centered because you are paying attention to yourself. But if you followed my work long enough, you'll hear me say that paying attention to yourself aligns you with your purpose, which by its very nature is designed to support your life and all life on the planet. So this is not in a self-indulgent, a self-important, or a self-pitying way at the exclusion of the rest of the world. This is being in touch in a healthy balance with oneself and how one best interacts with others with integrity, with truth, and with love. So the next day after this dinner, I taught at ODC, which is a dance center in San Francisco, and that same artist came to take my class. So this is like 14, 15 years ago, and I was already deeply into embodied practice as my research. And I don't remember exactly what we did in the class, but she came up to me afterwards and said, I get it now. So I share this story with you to encourage you to stay centered in yourself and in your purpose. You know, even if there's like your neighbor's having an issue, your parent, the person on the other side of the world is having an issue, it doesn't mean that it is your purpose to drop everything you're doing and tend to your neighbor, your parent, the person or community on the other side of the world. And I said this in my Meditate, Move, Heal Q&A a couple weeks ago, that I see this as, you know, when we're tending to all these other problems, I feel that sometimes we can distract ourselves deeply by doing so, by trying to tend to every single problem in the world. And when we're doing that, no one is at home to take care of our own inner problems, some of which are very painful to look at. So no wonder we try to throw that energy elsewhere. But I really feel that it is essential to see what's going on inside. And from that truth and from that knowing, we then are able to be in the world with integrity. And I'm not saying you have to do that first at the exclusion of everything else, but I think it's something that it's vital to continually stay in touch with that self-inquiry. And the other thing is that when no one is home, to allow you to fully live into your personal unique greatness, which, as I said, by its very nature contributes to all of life, is that no one's actually home. You can't grow into your greatness. Sorry, I had a little brain trip there. But what I want to say is that it's scary to touch the truth of your soul, because it can make you realize just how incredibly powerful and responsible, meaning able to respond, how incredibly responsible you are. And like that saying, with great power comes great responsibility, the responsibility that is personal and unique to you. And that seems like the most beautiful call to action one can take. So I was talking to an artist friend about this, and she said, what am I supposed to do in times like this? And all I could think was, please keep making your art. It is who she is, and it's so incredibly beautiful. And it's like where I see it's so incredibly powerful. There's such a strong alignment, and there's such a strong energy that comes through that. And if her practice of making art and sharing it lights up, inspires, and changes the life of one person or 5 people or 5,000 people during her lifetime, that is time well spent. But if she's not doing that work that only she can do, it never, never gets to live. So all of this I share in celebration of your greatness and your decision to pay attention to the energies and inspiration coursing through you. And by doing that, I feel we can really change this world. So thank you so much for listening. I'm happy to hear your comments and responses, which you can leave right on the blog. And even in saying this, like usually I feel like this happens to me when I'm doing a video, but it touches me deeply as I continue, you know, just to share this personally, that's what I am. I am in this practice. I am committed to this practice, and I know the pain, and I know the questions, and I know the confusion that come up. But again, I see it in others. I see it in people who inspire me and in my mentors and teachers. And I have seen it in myself, that when I tune into that thing that only I know in the depth of my soul, whether it's been in my dance career or in the healing or coaching work, I can see how powerful of an effect that has on me and any person I interact with that chooses to also, you know, step alongside that journey with me. So thank you again. As I said, I'm happy to hear your comments and responses, which you can leave right on the blog. And if you are interested in doing any of my group programs or personal coaching and healing work, please send an email and we can make a time to connect. In the meantime, have a beautiful, beautiful day.